All right, let's get into it. We're going to break down a financial philosophy that has survived for 5,000 years. We've taken all the wisdom from ancient Babylon and boiled it down into one single master blueprint for building wealth. Seriously, if you ever feel your discipline starting to crack, this is the one to come back to. Let's dive in.
We have to start right here with this painful truth. The book introduces us to a guy named Ben Seir. Now, Ben Seir was the best chariot builder in all of Babylon. No question. He worked harder than anyone. And yet, he was completely broke. His story teaches us a lesson that can be pretty tough to swallow. If you don't get the rules of money, all your hard work is just spinning your wheels.
So, where do you even start? Well, you start with the foundation. This is the first and most important law of wealth. Everything else we're going to talk about is built right on top of this one principle.
And there it is. Akkad, the richest man in Babylon, gave us this foundational law. It sounds so simple you might just brush it off, but trust me, this is the bedrock of the entire philosophy. It's a total mindset shift about who gets paid first when your money comes in.
This is the number, and it is absolutely non-negotiable. Before the landlord gets a dime, before Netflix gets their cut, before you buy a cup of coffee, you pay yourself 10% off the top. And it's yours to keep, not just to spend later. This simple idea is the seed that grows everything, from a basic emergency fund all the way to the modern FIRE movement. It all starts here.
So every single time you get paid, you're faced with this choice. If you spend everything that comes in, you're basically a slave to your job, a cog in the machine. But if you keep that 10%, you start building what the Babylonians called an army of golden slaves. Every dollar is a worker, sent out to earn more money for you.
Okay, so the foundation is laid. What's next? Now we build the system. This is where we go from just saving money to actively making that money work for you. Now, the book talks about 7 cures for a lean purse, but we can really distill them down to these 3 powerful actions. First, get a handle on your spending. You have to live on less than you earn. Second, make your gold multiply. This means investing, putting that army to work. And third, never stop increasing your ability to earn. Your own skills are your greatest financial asset, period.
You know, we tend to think of luck as some random force, like winning the lottery. But the Babylonians, they saw it completely differently. To them, luck was an equation. It's what happens when you've done the work to be prepared, an opportunity pops up, and you actually have the guts to take action.
And this just hammers the point home, doesn't it? The universe doesn't reward you for hesitating or for thinking about it. Luck is drawn to momentum. It favors the people who are already moving, the ones who see a door open and walk through it. Procrastinators, they just get left behind.
Now, a crucial warning. As you start to invest your money, you have to understand the 5 laws of gold. But this is maybe the most important for us today. Your money will literally run away from you if you try to force it into some get-rich-quick scheme. If a deal sounds way too good to be true, it's not an opportunity. It's a trap, plain and simple.
Okay, you've started building something. Great. Now you have to defend it. This whole section is about shifting from offense to defense, making sure you can protect what you've built.
This is some timeless wisdom right here. It's all about one thing: preserving your capital. It's so much better to take a small, safe gain than to gamble on a huge, risky one that could wipe you out. Because believe me, the pain of losing it all is way worse than the sting of missing out on a long shot.
Just like the ancient city of Babylon had these massive impenetrable walls to protect its gold, you need to build financial walls around your wealth. And in our world, that means 2 things. First, having the right insurance so a catastrophe doesn't ruin you. And second, building an emergency fund so that one bad day, a job loss, a medical bill, doesn't force you to sell off your investments.
But what if you're not starting at zero? What if you're deep in a hole of debt? Well, Babylon has a clear, step-by-step plan for that too. It's called the Babylonian formula, and it's a systematic way to get out of debt while, and this is key, also starting to build wealth. And here's how it breaks down. 70% of your income is for you to live on. A full 20% goes directly to paying down your debts. But, and this is the absolute genius of it, you still honor that very first law. You keep 10% for yourself. This way, you're attacking your debt while also building your own savings. So when you're finally debt-free, you're not at zero, you're already on your way.
All right, let's talk about the engine that makes this entire blueprint run. It's a completely different way of looking at the power of work itself.
This is the big secret, the one shared by the luckiest man in Babylon, who literally started out as a slave.
So many of us are taught to see our job as the enemy, right? The thing we have to suffer through to get to the weekend. The Babylonians completely flipped that script. Yeah, passive income is the end goal, but your work, that's the vehicle that's going to get you there.
When you stop fighting your work and start treating it like your best friend, an ally on your journey, it starts to pay you back in ways that go way beyond a paycheck. It brings you connections. It puts you directly in the path of new opportunities. And, like we already talked about, it's where you create your own luck. If you really embrace this mindset, it's almost impossible to stay poor.
So, as we wrap this all up, I need you to understand something. These things we've been talking about, they aren't just clever tips or nice stories. They are the enduring laws of wealth. That's right. The principles that govern money are just as real and unchangeable as the laws of physics. You don't get to have an opinion about gravity. You can't feel your way around it. It just is. And it's the exact same with these financial laws. They don't care about your feelings. They just work.
And the outcome is just as clear-cut. It's totally binary. There is no middle ground here. If you live by these laws, your wealth will grow. It is an absolute certainty. And if you break them or just ignore them, your purse will empty. The choice is yours, and so is the consequence.
So there you have it. The entire 5,000-year-old blueprint is now in your hands. From the foundation to the philosophy, the knowledge is all yours. So really, the only question left, and it's the most important one of all, is this: what are you going to build with it?